I'm gonna get some cauliflower, some carrots, some pepper, and some apple on a fork. A lot of raw vegetables. Hi, it's Amanda. Welcome back to my channel. Today's recipe should bring me one step closer to my ultimate goal of becoming plant-based, although stay tuned for the next one because I suspect this trend won't continue. Let's get started. I'm winging this. I wanted to record it just in case it turns out well. So if this gets uploaded, you're in for a treat. The meal plan is going to be a cauliflower and apple salad, tofu with a peanut sauce, and this new noodle that I just got from Whole Foods. I don't know if it's new to Whole Foods. It's definitely new to me. I've had shirataki noodles before and I love those. This is called Palmini and it is made with sliced hearts of palm, water, natural sea salt, and citric acid. I'm hoping that I can just drizzle this with the peanut sauce and it'll be like a Chinese cold noodle. I'm starting off with coconut amino sauce. This is a gluten-free alternative to soy sauce. I'm not gluten-free, but I'm very easily sold to. I'm not really measuring things. This is really just gonna be based on what I feel like doing. Toasted, expeller pressed sesame seed oil. Sucrin. This is my brown sugar substitute. An approximate half teaspoon of garlic powder and some black sesame seeds. I have my tofu wrapped in a tea towel because I want to take out the moisture because I am looking to make a relatively crispy tofu. Tamari, which is another gluten-free soy sauce. Water, organic soybean salt, and organic alcohol to preserve freshness, and it's non-GMO. Keep in mind, corn and soy are the ones that are most heavily sprayed with glyphosate, which is the active ingredient in Roundup, which you do not want to consume. Rice vinegar, garlic powder, a little bit of salt, those sesame seeds. Next, I'm going to put in some peanut butter. This is from Thrive, and it's very hard to squeeze the contents out when you're almost done with that, so I just cut it in half. And I'll just make this as easy as possible. This is just peanuts. It's not peanuts and sunflower oil and sugar and all of that, so good stuff. And good stuff. In case that wasn't clear, I mean it's good for you and it tastes good. Okay? A little bit more than 1 cup of vegetable broth. I just need something to loosen the texture. Under different circumstances, those circumstances being I'm not trying to go plant-based eventually, I would have put in bone broth because I just ordered like 12 boxes of it. But this is a plant-based meal, so I'm going with the vegetable broth. Just been a couple of minutes. I do want this to be a little bit thicker, so I'm going to supplement with some tahini. Just in case you don't know, tahini is actually just made from sesame seeds. I'm going to stir this up for another minute or so, and then I'm going to put it in the pot to simmer. I'm going to start with some unsweetened almond milk. Almond milk. Filtered water, organic sprouted almonds, and Himalayan salt. If this was something that you were just going to drink for pleasure with a cookie or something, then I would suggest that you add some sweeteners to it, like some vanilla extract, some sucrin, some monk fruit sweetener, something, because I'm sure this does not taste very good. I'm not even going to taste it. Sprouted nuts and seeds are the way to go because they're easier to digest. A little bit of apple cider vinegar, and when you have raw apple cider vinegar, remember that you want to always shake it. The thing that settles on the bottom that's no longer there because I just shook it, it's called mother. That's the prebiotic bacteria, and you want to eat that. Coconut nectar, some brine from my pickles, 1 teaspoon. In keeping with the Asian flavors here, I'm also going to put in a little bit of sesame miso. Also, that'll serve to thicken it up. I cut the the 2 heads of cauliflower, but it's way too much. So I'm just gonna take some of this. Apple. Aiden, please don't play with the tripod while I'm using it. Carrot. I had some leftover onion in the fridge, so I'm just gonna toss it in as well. Red onion would be preferable, but I don't have any red onion, so, you know. Scallion. Green pepper. Mix it up. I wasn't sure if I should use tapioca starch or almond flour, so I'm going to use both. I'm going to do half of the tofu with almond flour and half of it with tapioca starch. Because the almond flour is a little bit larger granules than I would probably like, I sifted it into here. I'm hoping that makes a difference. As you can see, the tofu has taken on a more of a brown color, so that means that the seasoning has seeped in there a good amount. I'm just going to coat it like that, pat off all the excess, and place it on the baking sheet. Almond flour done. I'm now going to mix it with the tapioca starch. The tofu is ready to go in the oven. Some of almond flour, some of tapioca starch, and then I also did 6 of them with nothing on it to see how that is. I did put it up to medium-low for a good amount of time because I wanted it to reduce faster. So I did that for probably like 10, 12 minutes, and then when it started to bubble a little, I put it down to low, and that's where it's been ever since. It smells leafy. It does not have the texture of pasta. It has the texture of, I would say, zoodles, or zucchini noodles. Palmini is a pasta substitute made out of a natural plant known as hearts of palm. When this plant is cut and cooked in the proper way, it resembles the regular pasta. Its resemblance to regular pasta is remarkable. That would be remarkable because right now, palmini is made from cultivated hearts of palm and harvested in environment. Okay, whatever. So drain palmini and rinse with plenty of water. Add choice of sauce. In a medium saucepan, mix and heat. Enjoy. All right. For a softer texture, add drained palmini to boiling water for 5-10 minutes or until desired texture is achieved. I think I'm going to do that. I'm probably going to boil it for maybe 4 minutes. Starting now. This should be interesting. I didn't put any oil because I'm trying to keep this wholly plant-based. If I had used an oil, it would have been easier to determine whether or not it was ready because it would have browned. But with just the almond flour and tapioca starch, they still look like almond flour and tapioca starch to sitting on top of the tofu. Before I do the salad, I'm actually just going to sprinkle some hemp hearts on it. I'm waiting until the end because I didn't want them to get too soggy. Need a bigger spoon. Okay. There we go. So we've got, I mixed the hearts of palm with the peanut sauce and then I put it in the freezer to chill for a little bit because I do want it to be like a cold sesame noodle. Almond flour. The tofu itself is very good. To be completely honest, I'm not joking here, it actually tastes like fried chicken. But it's, the almond flour is like a separate entity. Because it is a thicker flour, it didn't really seep into it. But it tastes, it's pretty good. Tapioca. This looks a little bit shriveled. Somewhat gross. Let's see. It's also pretty good. Okay, so the seasoning on the tofu is very good. It was crunchy when I first bit it, and it tastes good, but the only thing I'm noticing is as I'm chewing it, I can taste the tapioca starch like separating from the tofu, so I'm just kind of tasting separate, it would taste like flour in my mouth. And then I'm just gonna take one with nothing on it. It's good. It's like a tofu chip. I'm gonna have Nick try these out also because he's sitting there staring at me and he wants to have dinner. Speak loudly enough so we can hear what you think. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Why?
Like fried chicken.
Yeah, okay, yeah, it does taste like fried chicken. His face did light up a little bit. Well, after he chewed it a few times, he likes it.
Yeah.
So that was the almond flour. So let's see if you, Oh, and I don't know which one I prefer. They're both pretty good.
Where am I going?
Try the tapioca starch. Okay, it looks like he's preferring the almond
Also
flour.
good.
It's
No,
also
no.
okay. What do
Yeah.
you think? What do you think?
It's got a little sweetness to it.
Really?
A little bit.
Okay. But when I was chewing it, it tasted like the tapioca was coming off of my tongue and it was kind of tasting like flour. Did you feel that?
No,
or
I didn't feel
that. Do you prefer one over the other?
No.
No. Okay. He likes both of them, and then he could try one with no flour.
Oh, good.
So they're all tied.
All right, good.
They're all tied.
Mm.
I guess I said the same thing. I actually think I like the almond flour the most.
I think I do too. Tapioca is really good too.
Okay, he likes all three. That's fair. I'm nervous about this, to be completely honest. So what it looks like. It's good. It's not a strong taste of peanut, but I feel like if it was sitting for longer, it would be. The hearts of palm are wet, so you bite into it, and it's like releasing water or whatever that liquid is into your mouth. So I can't trick myself into thinking that it is sesame noodles, cold sesame noodle. If I had this with shirataki ramen, I think it would actually taste really good. Maybe I'll try that one of these days.
Is it supposed to be like a cold noodle? Like a...
Just taste it. I don't know if it's supposed to be like a cold noodle. That was my idea because it looked like cold noodle, but.
It would be good as a cold noodle. Like
I think if it was in the freezer longer,
Yeah,
it would
it's a
taste a
little-
lot better.
Yeah, it's a little warm, but like, it's a good cold noodle substitute.
Okay. So yeah, if I had more time to let it freeze, I only let it chill for like 5 minutes. I'm not going to ask for his opinion on the salad. I'm just going to try it and let you know how the dressing is because we want to eat because it's late. So I'm going to get some cauliflower, some carrots, some pepper, and some apple on a fork. A lot of raw vegetables. I actually like it.
Is there a dressing?
I'm surprised. Yeah, there's a dressing. I'm actually surprised. I actually really like this. I think the apple makes it taste good. I've never had raw cauliflower before. This is a good plate of food. I don't know how everything's gonna go together, but it's very good. That's it for this video. It's time to go eat. Hope you enjoy. If you try this out or any portion of this meal, let me know in the comments section, and I'll talk to you in my next video. Have a good one.